Today I unboxed one of my giveaway winnings. Hi everyone, this is Casper, the Boy Diviner here today. I'm gonna unbox the Thea's Tarot that I won in Aquamarine 18's giveaway. It just so happens when I won the giveaway, it was near my birthday, so it was really serendipitous. Thank you so much, Laura. I really appreciate you doing this giveaway. And it's really kind because it was your birthday and you were doing a giveaway to celebrate that. Okay, it's a really well packaged gift. I'm gonna take it out right now. If you enjoy this sort of videos, please leave a like and subscribe. It really helps me out. I show the tarot decks I have, I give my thoughts on it, and this is really a unboxing first impressions of the Thea's Tarot. She provided a really sweet note here, I think. Here, she gave me a little bag. What a pretty bag. And I can feel a crystal in it, so let's take it out. What a cute little crystal. So I'll keep this crystal with the bag and the deck, just because, you know, they came together. And there's a little fold out, I think it's like the little white book that comes with the Thea's Tarot. And this is the Thea's Tarot. Yeah, it has a little window where you can see the card. So the Thea's Tarot, I've seen it online. It's a deck that intrigued me, but I never really thought I'll get it, especially not this year. So to give you some context, this year is my depth year. I told myself not to get too many decks. So a gift of a tarot deck is really kind because it allows me to explore decks that I might not necessarily have bought for myself. You know, in the depth year, I feel like because we're trying to get to know ourselves better in a way, we try to pick and be very conscious about the decks we choose. And this deck takes some of the things I like and then takes things that I don't know if I can connect with, and that's why I wouldn't be able to, you know, make that buy, just because there are some things about this deck that I don't think I can work well with. One reason why I haven't gotten, for example, the Modern Witch Tarot, and I didn't get the Muse Tarot, even though I'm interested in it, it's just because it doesn't have any male representation. That was something that scares me. I felt like my connection with black and white decks have become quite tenuous. For example, with my Persephone Tarot, my Marigold Tarot, I think they're all in my decks to let go, and why I was letting them go. But things have changed so far. My connection with the Persephone Tarot has become better, so I really enjoyed working with it again. So I'm hoping this would happen for the Thea's Tarot as well. And this is a wonderfully queer tarot. I think my only queer tarot, and I really appreciate that. That's one part of this deck that really attracted me. But you know, because of the black and white nature, because of all the feminine figures without any masculine aspects that I see overtly, I don't know if I can work with this deck, and I'm excited to test out how my relationship with this deck would be. Just to quickly show you, this is the back. It's not really explained what this symbol is, but oh, the deck is beautiful. Okay, the artist is Ruth West. She has changed the names of the tarot, and I hope she explains it a little in the little white book in a way. So I'm excited to read that. But just gonna walk through with you. I really like the woodcut feel. I think there's one card that really intrigued me. This is one of my favorite cards in the deck, the Magician. This makes me feel. This reminds me of like an Asian kind of magician. I don't know why. It could be the robe. And I know that this is probably the pattern on the top, but I feel like the plant is actually sprouting out of a palm, so that's really reminiscent of the Magician, I feel. The Seer. This has a bit of a blemish here, but still workable. I like that Ruth West still kept the original themes with the moons here with the white and black pillars on the side. There's a moon on her head as well. The Creator. I feel like this is a wilder version of the of a Empress. I have not seen something like this. I appreciate her pose. The Emperor, and it's great that she brought the Aries sign in it twice, so I really get that masculine feeling from this lovely feminine form. The Hierophant, a nun. I don't know why, but nuns kind of creep me out. I haven't watched the horror movie The Nun. I think there's a horror movie called The Nun. I don't think I'll ever watch it just because I think that would deepen my fear. The Lover's card. I really like this figure. I liked how, you know, how close up it is. I think Ruth West has a way of cropping it so that it looks good. Chariot. My birth card. Justice. How she plays with the balance of black and white is really interesting. The Hermit. I feel like this is a really contemplative. I don't know if I'm pronouncing that right, but she's contemplating, right? She's really thinking. And then here's one of my favorite cards of the deck, the Comet for Wheel of Fortune. This is really beautiful. Oh, this is so beautiful. How she's you know, wrestling with the night sky and a comet flying through it. I don't really see how this connects with the Wheel of Fortune, but I really like that art. The strength. This doesn't have the typical lion, but this reminds me of the Marigold Tarot, the strength card in the Marigold Tarot as well. Maybe they echo each other for some reason. Art. So you can see that it does have the Thoth numberings. The Juggler. This is one that I don't really super get, but I'm interested to learn why the Juggler is in place of death. Grace as Temperance. Oppression instead of the Devil. Usually I see Devil not really as oppression all the time. I see some parts of it being like in a way giving into your darker nature. So I feel like this card is really focused on that oppressive part of the Devil, which I do accept. I feel like as a queer deck, that is something that we need to be cognizant about. The Tower. Really beautiful. There are 2 moons and like 3 Saturns there. The Star. This is such a sweet card. Super sweet. I like this one. I like the stars in the hair. And the moons in the skirt. The Moon. So intriguing. Oh, I can't wait to work more with this deck and tell you my end thoughts about this deck. But as unboxing, as a first impressions, I am really interested, especially when it looks like this. I don't know. There's something about the hair, the wild hair, that reminds me of something more Asian, but still the sun is beautiful. I like the expression here. Rebirth instead of Judgment, but I think this is a good keyword for that. The World with its 3 faces. The Ace of Wands. The 2 of Wands. Oh, this is so cute. The 3 of Wands. The 4 of Wands. You see, these are the figures that attract me most when they feel so free. I think most of the figures here all feel free. This is a beautiful card, the 5 of Wands. You know, instead of the direct conflict here, there is some sort of aversion to the conflict. I really want to compare this to the Thoth keywords, but I'm not too familiar with them, so I don't know them offhand. 6 of Wands instead of Victory. This doesn't feel super victorious. That back bend. She does feel free though, free. 7 of Wands. This is really interesting because 7 of Wands I usually see as fighting off, right, in the RWS. There's some sort of freedom here. Most of the figures here feel so free. It's like, come at me, you know, I don't care. I don't care if you're gonna attack me, just come. I'm ready. Even though I don't feel like I have anything, you know, she's vulnerable and yet she's still so brave to experience that kind of attack in a way. 8 of Wands. The 9 of Wands as being stuck in your own head, you know, I see that. The 10 of Wands, oppression. The Child of Wands, Child instead of Page. The Wand, Amazon. I like this. I like the change. So it's not Amazon of Wands, you know, it's the Wand, Amazon instead of the Knight. The Daughter of Wands. Oh, I love this. Even though the bow and arrow often makes me think of the air element, so if I look at the image itself, I might think about you know, the Queen of Swords. The Wand Mother. I don't know how much Asian influence there is, and I don't know, maybe it's just because I'm Asian and I don't really have much understanding of other deities maybe, but the four-armed figure is really something that is prevalent in, you know, our Bodhisattvas, our Buddhas, our different deities. The Ace of Cups. The Two of Cups. This is really sweet. This is so sweet. Just a couple, you know, going along their day. The Three of Cups. Oh, the Four of Cups is so beautiful. You know, instead of ignoring that hand, they have accepted it. You know, and they're looking out in the night sky. I mean, in comparison to the RWS. The Five of Cups. The Six of Cups. I really want to compare this to the Thoth, because when I look at cards, because I'm well versed in the RWS, I think about, you know, innocence. I think about childhood. I think about nostalgia. I don't really see that here. There is some sort of lessening in a way, because I always look at things from left to right. The Seven of Cups. Oh, this is interesting. There's some sort of teamwork here, you know, some sort of teamwork, symmetry, yeah, that's how you pronounce it. Instead of like the illusions that I usually think, unless that mirroring is some sort of illusion. This makes me think of I don't know if you watched that movie, but oh, I can't even remember the name. The movie with Natalie Portman, and she has that double figure, the mirrored figure, and she finds it so hard to get out of that alien place. Annihilation? Is it called Annihilation? I'll check. Okay, the Eight of Cups. Pretty typical. I like this. The Nine of Cups. Very, very sweet. I like this one. This is I don't know where this Nine of Cups comes from, because Danilov Tarot also has a very similar kind of feel compared to that single person in the RWS. The Ten of Cups. Pretty typical, but I love the border here. Child of Cups, getting drunk under the stars. The Cup Amazon. The Daughter of Cups. I feel like the Cup Amazon and the Daughter of Cups has some sort of symmetry. And then the Cup Mother. Love the hair. Okay, the Ace of Swords. Powerful. I love the lightning bolt. The Two of Swords. Not blindfolded. She's looking with her eyes wide open. The Three of Swords is such an interesting card because it's actually landscape. I feel like this is the first landscape card in the whole deck. Some people might be turned off by this, but I feel like there's that sort of feeling that things have been overturned, things don't look the same as they did before, perception has changed because of what has happened. Yeah. Oh, I like the idea of that. Just that one card, you know, one of the most painful cards in the deck, being disoriented in that way. Four of Swords. I love this card. This card is so good. I think this is one of my favorites now, along with the Comet. There's really that feeling of rest here. Her expression, the closed eyes. Wow, the Five of Swords. I don't know, I just had a chill looking at her face because that's such a melancholic look. Oh, this card really affects me. That's so interesting. I don't really get visceral reactions like that, not all the time. Okay, the Six of Swords is something that I don't really understand because the Six of Swords is about moving on. This is super reminiscent of the Four of Swords. So is there a story? Was the Five of Swords some sort of you know, the sword that when you wake up at 5 AM in the morning, which I did today, and that's why I feel so tired and I have a slight headache. But so you wake up and you try to sleep again, and is this what it's trying to say? The Six of Swords is that restless nature of sleep instead of the usual moving forwards. I don't know. The Seven of Swords, beautiful. I feel like this makes me think of Inception because all these figures look like they're sleeping, so you're getting deeper and deeper. The Eight of Swords, beautiful card. I think the Sword Suit is one of my favorites in this deck for now, at this point in time. Eight of Swords. You know, she's kind of trapped. But you can see that there's an egg shape. So maybe she's just ready to hatch, compared to the RWS where you're blinded yourself and you can actually leave but you don't. That is some sort of the gestation energy there. The 9 of Swords. Pretty painful. And then the 10 of Swords. Burdened by work, maybe. The Child of Swords. The Sword Amazon. The Amazons in this deck is... The Amazon in this deck is really interesting. The Daughter of Swords. I thought she had 4 feet. Whoops. Yeah, but really nice. And then the Sword Mother. All the mothers in this deck give me like a very deity-like energy. Ace of Pentacles. The 2 of Pentacles. Balancing, and I like this view of balance here. The 3 of Pentacles. Work. Although I don't see the teamwork as much here, just because there's only one figure. This makes me feel like this should be the 8 of Pentacles in a way. The 4 of Pentacles. Interesting. It's more manipulative, like they're using their money to do things instead of holding on to it. So it's a little different, you know. Instead of the miserly kind of nature or the self-care kind of nature, this is using your resources to make things your own way. The 5 of Pentacles. Weighing down on her. The 6 of Pentacles. This gives me more of the nostalgic feeling compared to the 5, but this is clearly a store as well, so there's that feeling of exchange still. The 7 of Pentacles, I can see the RWS one here, in here. The 8 of Pentacles, again hard work. I can see that. The 9 of Pentacles, the next one that is actually landscape. So the 3 of Swords is landscape. It's that kind of pain that makes you see things in a different way. I think the 9 of Pentacles is also like that because it's that kind of independence that lets you see things in a more objective fashion, you know? Even though you're staying by yourself in your own place. And the 10 of Pentacles is also landscape. I'm not too sure why though. I'm not too sure what this is trying to depict. Because sometimes I do see the 10 of Pentacles as some sort of blockage, and it does feel that way. But I'm not sure if my interpretation is right. The Child of Pentacles. Pentacle Amazon is fantastic. So lush. The Daughter of Pentacles. Also another landscape one. And there's a cat. And the Pentacle Mother. Again, another very powerful figure. I'm just so excited to actually consecrate this deck and start using it, so I probably will do that later on. And I hope you enjoyed this little unboxing, this little first impressions of this deck, which I wouldn't get for myself, but I feel like it's gonna push me. It's gonna push me to become a better reader. It's gonna push me to understand other layers to the cards that I've never seen before through the lens of Ruth West and also, of course, Aquamarine 18 Laura. Thank you so much for getting this deck for me. I hope I can work with this deck as much as it has worked for you. I don't know if that made sense. I don't know if I tripped over my tongue, but thank you so much. I can't wait to dive into this deck. I can't wait to, use this deck more going forward. And thank you so much for joining me in this first impressions of this deck. If you enjoyed what you see, please leave a like and subscribe. It really helps me out. You guys have a great rest of the day and you take care. Bye!